Guys, it's Madison, and today I'm in a car, a dirty car at that. I wanted to film a video, but my house was very loud, and honestly, I wanted to film it outside because I was like, that sounds so cool, you know, everyone's cutting grass, and I was like, I'm just gonna go sit in a car and film a video. So that's where I am. So yeah, so today I'm gonna be doing a story time video. I told you guys in one of my Q&As that something about Casey didn't want to go like shark cage dive with me, and then how she also didn't want to go on the helicopter with me, and you guys asked me to do a story time on my helicopter ride, which was kind of, there's nothing really to it, but I know one person asked me that, so I was like, alright, I got you. So anyways, like I said, there's really nothing to it. Also, I want to say sorry for the lighting. It's crazy. But like I said, there's really nothing to this story. Just a couple years ago, my uncle, we went to the air show, which had the Blue Angels. If you guys don't know who that is, it's like a group of airplanes. I don't really know. But we just went to this air show, and they were doing like helicopter rides. And I told my uncle that I wanted to ride one of those helicopters, and he said no, because he's very protective. He's like, negative, you're not riding that, you're crazy. And I was like, I kept like begging him, and he was like, no, you can't ride it anyways because you're not 18. And I was like, yeah, you can. Like, those kids over there are like 7 and they're riding it. At this point, I was like, I don't really know. I was probably like 10 or 11, so maybe not a few years ago, like 5 years ago. He was like, all right, you can ride it next time. And I was like, you're lying. Like, no, you're gonna say no next time too. And he's like, no, I promise you can ride it next time, whatever. I guess he thought that I wouldn't remember that. I guess he thought that he like had said that and I was not gonna remember that for the next time. Of course I did, because I remember everything. So the next time rolls around and I hear that the Blue Angels are coming back, and I'm like, guess what? I get to ride the helicopter this year. And he was like, no, what are you talking about? I was like, you promised that I would get to ride one, and I'm riding a helicopter this year. He was like, yeah, that is a very pretty truck. He was like, yeah, whatever. I think he thought, at this point, I think he thought that I was going to chicken out, like I wasn't actually going to ride this helicopter. I was. But I told him, I was like, no. You promised, I'm riding, let's go. So, I feel like I should remember the day, but I don't. It was like sometime in the beginning of last year, 2015. And it was very cold, let me just tell you that. And I can remember the day before the air show, we were in the car going to get food, and I was like, oh, are you going to ride with me tomorrow like you said you would, like 5 years ago? And he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. He's like, yeah, I don't really think you're going to ride it, so whatever. So we go the next day, and I'm ready. I'm like, we are going to ride a helicopter, boo. And I'm pretty sure he was like, yeah, okay, like you're still not going to ride it, whatever. So we go, and right when we get to the air show, what you do, I guess you don't have to, you can, I don't know how to explain this without telling you guys exactly where I live. From where I live, we could drive there if we wanted to, but we also could park at this place, and then we had like buses take us to the air show place, the airport. It's a long story, but try to bear with me. So what we did, we just left our car in the parking lot of this place that I can't really say, but, and then we got on like the charter buses, like went to the air show. And no lie, it was colder at the air show than it was at our house, and we don't live that far from the airport. We live a good little ways, but not that far, you know. But it was so cold. It was at least 20 degrees. It had to be 20 degrees. And my uncle was like, yeah, you know, you don't need to ride it today, you're gonna get sick. And I was like, well, we're not coming back tomorrow because the air show's only 2 days. I was like, well, we're not coming back tomorrow, so I'm riding it today. So we get there, and we're standing in line, and my uncle's like, I'm not getting on that. And I'm like, yes, you are. I was like, 100%, yes, you are, because you promised. Did you lie? Did you lie? And I want you to know that I was not disrespecting him. Me and him, we're like this all the time. Like, I wasn't like yelling at him. But anyways, just wanted you to know. I was like, yeah, you are. You're getting on this helicopter. We're gonna ride this helicopter. Yes, you are. And he was like, I'm not. No, I'm not riding it. So I was like, okay, chicken, like, I'll ride it. And he was like, you can't ride it anyways if you're not 18. So then my aunt steps in out of literally nowhere. I knew she wasn't going to ride it. That's why I never asked her. She was like, I'll ride it, whatever. And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? She's had like 7 back surgeries, like 2 neck surgeries. She's been through a lot, you know. I was like, she's not riding this helicopter. But lo and behold, yes, she did. So we get up there, we get in line, we're signing the papers. Yes, you have to sign a waiver to say that your family is not going to sue them if you die. Yes, I signed that paper. So you get up there, we sign the paper, and after we signed the paper, after we paid the money, the like $75, I don't actually know how much it was, but after we paid the money and everything, my uncle was like, yeah, I'll do it. I was like, stop lying, first of all, and go stay back there with the other chickens, because me and her, we're gonna ride this helicopter, we're gonna kill it. The helicopter that we rode, it was like, first of all, let me just set the scene, okay? Like I said, 20 degrees. We are, at this point, we're like under this tent that we have to stand in to like hear the rules and all this crap that I didn't care about. And there's like 10 people to like each helicopter. I say each helicopter because they had like 3 or 4 regular helicopters, and then they had like the high-tech helicopters where it was like only 2 people could ride that, whatever. And it was like different time spans that you could ride, and we got like the 8-minute or something. I don't really know. But there was like 8 other people that rode with us. So the man that was telling us the rules, he was like, he counted us out, and he was like, you know, you're going to sit here, you're going to sit here. He tried to do it kind of fast because he didn't want anybody else waiting, because we had to like run toward the helicopter. It was crazy. So he told us, and he pointed to my aunt, and he was like, you're going to be on the end seat, like right, you know, on the end seat, like right before you get to the door. There was no door on this helicopter. Look at my hand. There was no door on this helicopter. This was like an actual Navy helicopter, which the Blue Angels are like Navy planes. So, this is like an actual Navy helicopter. They don't have doors, okay? No doors, no nothing, honey. You did have like little straps. It wasn't like a seatbelt, but it was like a very messed up strap. So, I was like, alright, cool, let's just go. Like, why are we waiting? The helicopter's right there. We're standing there, and I was shaking. I was not scared, but I was shaking. Again, it was 20 degrees outside. 20 degrees. I'm not used to 20-degree weather. I live in Tuscaloosa. I don't need no 20-degree weather. Also, you can even ask Casey. I'm sitting right here and I'm shaking just because I don't know. I just shake. But I was shaking and I was like shivering, and my aunt was like, oh, you're scared. And I was like, not really. Like, I mean, I'm not that person that's like, oh, I'm not scared. I'm not going to say that just because I'm like big and bad. I'll tell you when I'm scared, because I'm scared all the time. But at this point, I was not scared. I was like, let's go. I'm ready to go. And my aunt was like, I'm not scared, you know, let's go. So we run to this helicopter, we're getting in, we're like getting buckled in, and she realizes, I guess she wasn't listening to the rule man, that she has an end seat. And there's no doors, again, and there's like no net. I know a lot of people, like, not a lot of people, but a lot of things, they have like nets, like on different things. This had no net, no nothing. It was literally a cut off ground. Like, you know, it was crazy. But, yeah, so she realized she had an end seat, and she was like, what the heck? She obviously said a different word, but whatever. But she said she wasn't scared at this point either. But, what had happened was, during when we, like, started taking off, everybody got their seatbelt on, whatever, and we started taking off a little bit, and the wind caught us, and it, like, backed us up a little bit, and they had to put us back down, and then we went back up. So, that kind of scared her a little bit, and she was terrified the entire ride. She was literally, she had a pink jacket on. She usually leaves her pink jacket in here, that's why I was going to show you. But she had a pink jacket on, and oh my gosh, she was like holding on to my arm, and her face was like down into her jacket. Honestly, she is crazy. There's the prettiest bird in that tree. And like holding on to me with her face into her hand, and then her right hand was on the seat, like below her, holding on to the seat for her dear life. She just honestly, she thought she was gonna die that day. So yeah, we did whatever. We were up there for, like I said, around 8 minutes, and then the guy that was sitting behind the pilot, I guess he was the one that told us the rules or whatever. He was like, oh, is she okay? And I was like, yeah, she's fine. I didn't know she was fine. I couldn't hear her. I could barely hear him. You know, we didn't have those head things, whatever. It was crazy. But he was like, oh, is she okay? And I was like, yeah, she's fine. She good, whatever. She's just chicken, you know. But apparently she wasn't fine, whatever. She's alive, if you didn't know. She's still here. So we get done, it's like, whatever. And I was like, alright, you gotta get up. Like, you gotta undo. I was telling my aunt, I was like, you gotta get up, whatever. And she gets off the helicopter, she goes to my uncle, whatever. And she was like, I was scared that she started coughing, and pink stuff started coming up. And like, inhaled that pink jacket. She was so scared. And she started telling my uncle, she was like, I knew I was going to die. Like, I was holding on for my dear life. Hulk Hogan couldn't have got that hand from that seat. I was like, you need to hush. Like, what? She was terrified. She said she wasn't terrified that we were going to crash. She was just terrified that, like, she was going to die. I don't really know. But now that I think about it, I'm very glad my uncle did not get on that helicopter because his heart could not have taken it. Because he had a heart surgery a couple months ago now. December. So he probably actually couldn't have done that, but so I'm glad he didn't. But yeah, so to this day she still says she will never get on a helicopter again unless it's a life or death situation, and only for certain people. She said she will never ever get on a helicopter. I had a very great time when I was up there. It was just amazing. I wish I was doing YouTube back in the day, early last year, because I started like really doing YouTube during the summer, so I didn't really get to film this, but I wish I would have filmed more of it. I did film a little bit of the helicopter ride. I put it on my Facebook, but honestly, like, when I got up there, I was like, this is too beautiful to be worrying about my phone. And honestly, I just put my phone down and I was just enjoying it because it was beautiful up there. And yeah, that's my story. That's basically it. I told you guys it was pretty boring. But the thing about Casey, most of my family, we go like to this bridge. I actually don't know where they go. I've actually never been there, but we go to this place that has like a park, and that's where they usually watch the air show. We like to go inside the gates and like really watch the air show, like really close, and that kind of thing. They fly everywhere. You don't have to, you don't have to go, but you can still steal planes. But we like to go, and we like to do the attractions, like the rock climbing and the bouncy house and stuff. I'm a little kid at heart, okay? So we like to go see like all the other stuff, but they don't really go in there. And I asked Casey in advance. I was like, look, I will pay. I was really trying to find someone to ride with me because, again, I had a feeling that my uncle wasn't going to ride anyways, and I knew my aunt was not going to ride, which she proved me wrong. So I was asking Casey, even if Casey would have rode, we would have had somebody else because neither of us are 18. But I was like, I'll pay for it. And she was like, no, I'm not getting on a helicopter. So she didn't get on it. My cousin Nick was my first instinct. I was like, he will do anything. I can ask him. He had to work that day. I told him I'll pay for everything, but like I said, he had to work that day. But he actually got off and he went to spend time with my family that was not at the air show, but they were still watching it. But I didn't know that. If I would have known that, we would have rode. My aunt wouldn't have had to go, but I didn't know. But the Blue Angel air show is coming back in 2017, early 2017. I will definitely be vlogging if I'm still doing this. I probably will. And yeah, I will definitely be riding another helicopter. My aunt will definitely not be. My uncle will definitely not be. And hopefully my cousin Nick will ride it. Hopefully I can get Casey on a helicopter. Hopefully we can. That's my goal, Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that I filmed in a car. I'm sorry about the lighting and everything, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.